Hey all, so this is a new video. We're going to be going over some very interesting puzzles today. Both of these are actually draws, so it's a little different from puzzles that you normally get where everything is win. But I find these very interesting. These are incredibly hard puzzles. They took me 15 minutes around to complete, so I hope you enjoy. Now, this puzzle is a little bit different. This puzzle, it's obvious that we're completely lost, and it makes sense that we don't really have anything, but we do actually. We have a very nice way to make a draw here, and one other little caveat about these puzzles, it has to be beautiful. Each one of these puzzles is a beautiful puzzle, and it must have a beautiful finish. Now, what beautiful finish means, basically it means that the puzzle is probably going to end in a stalemate, right? So, oh, remember, feel free to pause the video and work on this. This also took me around 15-10 minutes. Yeah, this means stalemate. This means try to find a beautiful continuation, try to find some incredible tactic that makes the puzzle work. But either way, let's get into it and into the answer. The first move is obvious. The first move, very simple. If we lose the pawn, we lose the game. Easy. We can analyze some checks. This check, oh no, the king moves up. We have nothing. We don't really even have to calculate that. This pawn is going to be lost, and it's GG. This check, sacrificing the bishop, rook takes. I mean, even king takes. There's nothing there. We don't have to calculate any of that. The only move is simply this move, bishop to e5, bishop e5, cutting off the control of the bishop to the pawn. And if your opponent takes, then it takes, and it's just this very simple draw. Your opponent will have to end up sacking the rook for the pawn, and I mean, yeah, draw, the king is too far away. So why is this a puzzle at all then? Well, the reason why is because, of course, your opponent doesn't have to take. The best move here, and the move to try and keep an advantage, is this move, rook to b4. And rook b4 is very natural, very forced. It's the only move. If we play this move, king here, we actually lose the game pretty much on the spot, because after this pin, we lose the bishop with check. The king is blocked off on the long side of the pawn. He's going to win the pawn. We lose. We don't have any play here. So we can't go for that. And then the only other line here, the only other line that actually gives some merit is the very interesting move king here, trying to get the king to the short side of the pawn and touch it. Because if we can control the pawn, then we might be able to save a draw. So after rook here, bishop there, and king up here, the move is simple. He plays this. It's forced. There's really nothing else he can do. He is skewering our bishop to our king, and we are forced to play this move. If we don't play that move, if we try to play this move or something, then it comes with check. If our king goes here, easy, he wins the pawn like this. And if our king goes to this square, then we lose. Let's put that on the board. So y'all are following me. Like if we go here, 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 the rook comes here, skewers the king, we lose. Very easy. If the king goes here, rook goes here, we lose. Very easy. So the other move is very forced. We have to play king c6. And I realized that I did not work on the puzzle beforehand with moving the pieces. So sorry about that. But yeah, so king c6. Very easy. And now the move is again forced. Move is again forced. He has to take our bishop. And now another very forcing move. That's kind of the trope about this puzzle. We have to play this move d7. If we don't play this move d7, we lose. We lose because he's going to pin us. He's going to win the pawn. We lose. The pawn is also on a dark square, so we really have no other business than playing d7, and it's the only chance that we have. So we have to calculate it. And now, rook e6 check, of course. King has to move here, and then the rook comes and tries to win the pawn. The point of this is very simple. We're trying to win the pawn, we're trying to get everything working, and you might think, okay, well, this move clearly doesn't work, right? This move clearly doesn't work because of check, here, and check, and he picks up the pawn, right? So what else do we have? Maybe we have this move, king c7. Oh, but then this also doesn't work because of this move. This very nice move, and if the king moves off, he wins the pawn. If the king moves here, he's pinned, and actually this move would win. Let me show that. Here, this move. And after the king moves out, the bishop is ready to sacrifice itself for the pawn. So we can't allow that. So now, what do we play? If neither king c7 or king c8 work, then what is the move? But then we realize that we have to look for something beautiful. Like I told you earlier, we have to look for something beautiful. And the move here is actually king c8. And the reason is because after this check, king back up, this check, he's going to win the pawn. But we actually force him to win the pawn with this move. And now, after your opponent wins the pawn, it's stalemate. The bishop controls this square, the rook controls these two squares. This is a draw. That's incredible. This is a draw. So, well, I mean, that's a very, very nice puzzle. Let's get back to puzzle number 2. So for this puzzle, we see the knight comes here, the knight comes here. This pawn is about a queen. This pawn, if the knight moves, well, queen, we're losing, right? We're probably definitely losing. We have nothing really to do. I'm gonna let you pause the video here and try to solve this. This is a very, very tricky puzzle. Like the other one, it took me around 15 minutes. I said that twice, but yeah. So I think that's around enough time for you to solve it. Remember to spend some time on it because this is a very tricky puzzle. Let's get into the explanation. So this move is the first move that comes to mind because you have to stop this move. So let's put that on the board. If this happens, simply rook takes, king takes, and bishop takes pawn, draw. But that's not gonna happen. Your opponent's gonna play something interesting. Your opponent's gonna find something nice. Otherwise, we wouldn't have a puzzle today. And the move here that your opponent finds, the only move that black has to try and win this position, actually the only move that actually wins for black, because this is lost. Let me turn on an evaluation bar. This is actually lost, is the move knight to d3. Very nice move. Very nice move. After bishop takes knight, he queens, we lose. So we can't have that. Now, so knight d6 is lost, right? We don't have anything there. After knight d6, we can calculate some other stuff. We can calculate takes, but then simply, actually not knight takes, we have to play this queen check here, and this is lost. You might think, oh, well, we can find some stalemate. We can go like, I don't know, here, takes with a king. Oh, we're gonna stalemate here, but at the end of the day, we always have a bishop. There's no stalemate in this position, so we can't go for that. Now, so this move already doesn't work. We can already abandon the move king c3, and we have to find other ways to stop this pawn from motion. And the only other way to stop this pawn from motion, the only move that works, is the move bishop d3. Very nice move. A very, very nice move. You might say, wait, what? Bishop d3? What? That's not. No. Bishop d3 doesn't work. You hooligan. You vagrant. Bishop d3 is what does it even change? He takes the bishop. What does he even change? But what it changes is that in the other line, we have to play king c3 because the c2 square is under wraps by the knight. But in can I play bishop d3? But in this line, after the knight takes, we have the c2 square. We have king c2 now. And we're doing well. We're actually almost winning. And you might say, wait, king c2, he queens? But then checkmate. You always got to be careful for these little checkmate tricks. Always got to look out for them. So, king c2 always works. But now you might say, well, if king c2 works, how does black even hold a draw at this point? Because this is lost, right? But there's one line that actually saves a draw. There's two lines. There's a couple lines. First of all, you have to calculate, my bad, not queen. You have to calculate if your opponent under promotes to knight. But of course, in this line, this is just a theoretical draw. Two knights versus king is simply a draw. The rook can sack itself for the pawn like this. I mean, this is a technical draw. Turn on analysis for you. Draw. I don't know how white gets a higher advantage in that, but you need to put all the pieces back on the board. But after king c2, you're threatening checkmate. There is a couple ways to stop it. This check doesn't actually stop it because after a rook takes, it's actually winning for white. The only way to stop it in a correct manner is to play the move knight to c8. Very interesting move. After check, knight h7. Then, wait. We can't stop queen. We can't stop queening. If the king moves, we lose control of this. And the rook isn't guarding that anymore. And after like rook here, simply promotes and we lose. So wait, how do we stop that? How do we do anything after knight c8? Because he's just threatening to promote. But here we have an amazing, brilliant move. And the move, like I said, you have to be beautiful. The move is rook takes b2, allowing the promotion. It allows the promotion. And this is very nice. You might notice here, in comrade with the other puzzle, the king is stalemated here. The king is actually stalemated. The king has no legal squares. Not here either. So the way that we have to do this, we have to lose the rook. Can't lose it like this, because after knight takes, the king has a move. So that doesn't work. The only way to lose the rook properly is this check first, king up, and then this check. After the king takes, this is a draw. The king has no legal squares. Here are all covered by black's pieces, and this is a very nice draw. So that was these puzzles. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys found this instructive, all the above. Yeah. Remember to like, subscribe, everything that YouTubers normally tell you to do. Yeah, all right. Good evening and good night.